like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Cross-Camara here, and I'm Devin Dampier, the Lobo.
With Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
JJ calls it retention this season. I think it's about right. Do something they haven't done around that place in a decade, and you get a little bit of a raise. This feels about right. I know somebody I heard reaction. Oh my goodness, that's right. That's how. Have success, you get recognized for success. Good morning to you, boys and girls. Merry Wednesday on the 8 de Mayo. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Bach. How you living?
What it do?
Look at you. Overtime win. You break out the sweater.
Smash and grab in Dallas.
Big win for the Avs last night. Game 1. Overtime. Winner. Go get a dinner. Put on your sweater. It's a good one, though. I've always liked that Avs jersey. I've always liked that one a lot. We'll get into that. We'll get into the hoops. We're here for you today. 505-246-0610. That is the Sports Animals phone line and text line. Emails Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. You can watch the show. Many of you do. Over on Comcast Channel 26, on our Facebook page, the OD in the AM, or on the YouTube channel for ProView Networks. Adrian's producing for us on ProView Networks. All right, came down yesterday. I don't think this surprised JJ. I know some people are going to lose their mind over it. Richard Pitino got a contract extension entering his 4th offseason now. He received a $50,000 a year raise up to his annual salary for the next season. This is his full compensation. To $1.2 million, draws him even with Bronco Mendenhall, the football coach, and ranks 4th in the conference behind Brian Dutcher, who makes $2.3 million at San Diego State. Nico Medved at $1.7 at Colorado State. Steve Alford, $1.3 million at Nevada, and then Pitino. And I don't give you that to basically give you standings. I give it to you more for context and market value and where your coach is. And I know you believe that as a Lobo fan that you are one of the best programs in the conference. Hence, you will pay your coach near the top, right? I saw this come down. The thing I looked at, and we'll get into this, the buyouts and that sort of a thing. But when you saw this, you thought what?
The price of doing business.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, too, is then for the university to get some more compensation on their end. If your coach continues to win, there's going to be interest from other programs. And thus, what does the buyout of a contract look like? And then also, the little things that are involved. And, one of those things that really jumps out to me is if the AD leaves, in this case, Eddie Nunez, the buyout slashed by 50%. So you better hope Eddie Nunez stays for a few years.
Well, first of all, I don't think the buyouts are that high, right? The buyouts are, $750 if he leaves now, in the next, before
next 2 years.
Yeah. I mean, that's not, $750 is not that high. Wasn't it like over $1 million last year? And then it drops to $500,000 and $250,000, and there's a really good chance Eddie leaves.
Well, it's higher than it was.
Is it higher?
Yeah,
I still don't think it's very high. But that's fine. And
a nice chunk of change to get your next coach.
A little bit. And if Eddie leaves, and look, Eddie's been here for what? I don't even know how long. Is it 8 years? Ish. At some point, Eddie's been up for so many, his name, I don't know how many his name's been attached to many jobs. But if some point he leaves, that's a good one for Richard. But I've got no problem with this. This is market value. This is a coach who's done a hell of a job here. You can tell me, whatever happened in the first round of the NCAA tournament, you're right. You can tell me that they wouldn't have gotten into the NCAA tournament if they didn't win the conference tournament. You're also right, but they did win the conference tournament. I will tell you that they have completely turned things around. Obviously, revenue has gone up because They are putting people in the building. There's excitement back around Lobo basketball. The building has been full. You've been getting sellouts. They've been competitive again. You've been ranked again. I mean, all those things that you wanted has happened under Richard's guidance. And this is, JJ, your phrasing is perfect on this. It's the price of doing business. I got zero problem with Richard getting this raise. And this feels, as I look at the rankings, and not even rankings, I look at the list of what others are making, and makes me understand what market value is. Brian Dutcher's in a different sphere at San Diego State. And then where he is in his league, it feels about right.
And it's also a coach that isn't, publicly complaining about the system they're in, this or that. Like, all right, this is what you have to work with. You have to be on board with the collective. You have to be on board with the NIL, the transfer portal. And also, they've done a really good job of identifying the right freshmen with high upside to come in and supplement that. And that's a big thing, is have a coach that's willing to do what it takes right now. As frustrating as it is, and as many coaches want to complain, because they all do, the just uncertainty of the situation, really no right path. We always say the word guardrails, but really at this point in time, it's just, hey, can you work with what the landscape of college athletics is right now? And Richard Pitino can.
It feels that way. Yeah, it feels that he's doing it as well as anybody at this level. Right.
You have a collective that is still bought in. A lot of people that are excited.
Yeah.
That's always going to be the thing where when you have a few bumps in a road, that's the danger of this, because then all the money that you're asking for could go away. But right now, things are working.
Yeah, I think then when I say this level, and the non-power level, and what is there in basketball? It was Power 6 with the Pac-12 gone away. There'll be no Pac-12 basketball next year. Those two teams will play in the West Coast Conference, Power 5, if you include the Big East, and I think you need to include the Big East in the power conferences. So at the high, I call it the high major level, right? This league, the West Coast. Well, I mean, is that fair? This league, the West Coast Conference, the American.
I think it could have been fair, but it's still, to me, it's all about revenue and.
Yeah, look, whatever. I mean, we're placing labels on it, right? There's the power conferences, the SEC, the Big East, the SEC, the Big East, the Big 10, the Big 12, and the ACC, right? And then, I mean, they're not the Southland. We talk mid-major. There's a separation when you talk about.
I think to me, there's still mid-majors and then there's low majors.
Okay.
Like it's just because I just look at all right, what is your collective doing?
Yeah, I just hate the term, and mid-major makes me think of you put them in with the Summit League, and they're not. They're better than this league's better than the Summit League. It's better than the Southland. It's better than the A-Sun, right? But whatever. At this level, he's grasped the new age of recruiting in college basketball, NIL, transfer portal. It feels as well as anybody else, doesn't it? That's all I'm saying. San Diego State, obviously, Brian Dutcher's got it down pretty well. They lost a lot of people too, right?
You could say it's better than San Diego State.
Once you have better results, you can say it's better than San Diego State.
In terms of collective.
Okay. In terms of collective, is that his doing or is that Kurt? And Kurt?
Well, I think without Richard Pitino's impact, you don't have a collective like that.
Yeah, without success in basketball, yes. And Richard's been the guy who's led the surge in success. So, yes, it all runs together. It's hand in hand. You need one to have the other. What comes first, the chicken or the egg kind of a thing? Like if Richard leaves, if he would have taken the Louisville job, would that collective have fallen apart?
Not initially.
I agree with that. And so someone else came in and had success in basketball. Now he's built the foundation. And that's why I give him all the credit in the world for bringing this thing back. I mean, look, man, Louisville basketball, you and I both went to the pit pre-COVID. Right? There was 10,000 people in there. They weren't winning. It wasn't it, man. To say they got back to the tournament for the first time in a decade is crazy to some Lobo fan. And so he gets a $50,000 raise this year, and he will make up to $1.4 million in the 28-29 season. The buyout, if he ends the contract, and the contract year ends March 31st. So you wait till April 1st, and it goes to the next year. But if he leaves before April 31st of this year or next year. I'm sorry, 25, 26. Yeah, this year or next year. It's $750,000. And then it drops to $500,000 for the 25, 26, and then $250,000, and then there's no buyout. And then if they fire him, they pretty much owe him out the money, right? So if they fire Pitino after next year, they owe him $5.3 million. They're not firing him. If they fire him after the next season, they owe him $3.24 million. If they fire him after the next season, it's 1.8. And there's no stipulation in there. If Eddie Nunez is gone, then there's a different athletic director. What they owe him if they fire him gets cut in half, right? They still own the full chunk. I mean, good for Richard people for getting this done. Mountain West regular season championship bonus increases from $10,000 to $25,000 for regular season championship. Last year he got $10,000 for winning the conference tournament. It goes up to $15,000 if he wins the conference tournament. Now, to me, earned. I'm going to assume this pays for itself, right? I'm just going to assume with the increased revenue that they're getting, both ticket and corporate revenue, that this pays for itself. And I have zero problem with this. Good for Richard. Congratulations to the university for getting it done, and congratulations to Richard for getting a new contract. Honestly, that's where I sit on this.
Yes. You get a little bit of a bump. You add those bonuses in there. The school, at least the next 2 years, can get a little bit more. If you continue to have success and another school wants to hire your coach, solid business deal.
Yeah. Text line says, Jeff was listening to the Pit Press podcast last night. Heard on there that Bronco Mendenhall has not actually signed his contract yet. It's from J-Rob. I don't know anything about that. I would assume he signed his contract.
Oh, that was actually in Jeff Grammer's Albuquerque Journal story that has not been signed yet.
He hasn't signed it? Is there a reason? I mean, he's obviously at work. Is he getting paid? I'm going to assume he's getting paid, right? If he's at work. Is that in today's story?
That was in with, yes, the Richard Pitino story.
Yeah, okay. Here it is. He signed a memorandum of understanding in December. But he hasn't signed his contract. That's interesting. I wonder why. Remember when Pitino hadn't signed it? That was the deal. I wonder why. I mean, I'm assuming you can get paid off of your memorandum of understanding, but if someone else wants to, they can just get him and he wouldn't have to pay a buyout. Like if he just left and went to pick your school, there'd be no buyout and you start all over again. Feels dangerous, doesn't it, for the university?
Yeah.
All right. 505-246-0610. How do you feel about your coach's new contract? He got a little bit of a raise, $50,000. I know it's a lot of money, but percentage-wise, a little bit of a raise. Feels to me like he earned it. I'm going to assume you feel the same way, but love to hear your thoughts on that. When we come back, let me introduce you to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Don't give Minnesota the West just yet, because the number 1 seed also has not lost. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own. They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Last night. Interesting hoops last night. Celtics roll the Cleveland Cavaliers. That may be the way that goes. You know, the I don't even think it's an X factor, JJ. I think what may differentiate the Celtics when it's all said and done, this is no secret to you, and it's not really a secret to me, but people talk about the Celtics, they talk about Tatum, and they talk about Brown. Derek White's been the guy, and consistently been the guy, and he had 25 more last night. And he's there every night. And he's a guy that, to me, is fine. Go out and you stopped Tatum last night. He shot 7 of 19 and scored 18 points. So Jaylen Brown went and got 32. But Derek White's there every night, and he is a tough stop. And then you throw Holiday in there and what Horford does defensively. And, I mean, that's why they are who they are. If Peyton Pritchard's going to come off the bench and start shooting, holy smokes.
Yeah, they're a team that has been able to do something not a lot of other teams have been able to do, and that is somehow still have all this talent with pieces behind them.
Oh, we forgot Porzingis.
Because Al Horford's their backup center.
Yeah.
But he was a starting center for so many years. This is a better role for him at this stage in his career. Derek White was good, but you can be great when you are the fourth option. And you'd probably be number 3 on any other team. But on that team, you're 4, maybe 5, depending off Kristaps Porzingis is on the floor. And then you have a guy that's 20 for 37 in his last 3 games from 3. It's pretty good.
It's really good. Nightcap, Oklahoma City. Remember them? You hadn't seen them in a minute. Hadn't heard much about them. Their games were on like NBA TV in the playoffs because they played New Orleans, and networks figured everybody wanted to watch the Lakers and Nuggets every night. So they're back. I said yesterday Minnesota was the only team who hadn't lost in the playoffs. That's not right. Oklahoma City also has not lost. See, I forgot about Oklahoma City too. Everybody did because you haven't seen them in a month, or at least a week and a half. They're back at it. Kicked off whatever rust they had. 117-95. They pounded the Mavericks last night in Oklahoma. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 29 points to go with 9 rebounds, to go with 9 assists. They get 19 points from Chet Holmgren. And then Jalen Williams, as you start to discover what this team's all about, you're going to realize they're young, they're deep, and they keep coming at you. Lou Dort might be the difference here because of what he does defensively. You look at his stat line, and you'll say, what did he do? He had 7 points, he had 4 rebounds, and whatever. But what he does defensively, and especially on Luka, who's not healthy, that ankle's not right, is something else. Doncic, 19 points, 6 for 19 shooting, had 5 turnovers, and Dort was on him. JJ, look, I think we're staring at Oklahoma City, Minnesota in the Western Conference Finals, and I don't even know who I think is the best team. I've been watching so much Minnesota. I was reminded again last night, they're really young, but they keep coming. Kyrie Irving said after the game, they have so much energy, and they keep coming at you, and there's so many dudes that get time, and they get minutes. This is an interesting look.
It's not an interesting look. They're the number 1 team in the Western
Conference. But it's an interesting
look. We need
look.
to throw away that narrative that everyone has to learn how to win with this team.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
They specifically are breaking that mold because of the talent that they have. Other teams, yeah, it's a fair conversation. With Oklahoma City, you're going in as number 1 seed. Like, you're legit right now. There's no growth in, say, Gilgeous-Alexander.
But he's a veteran, right?
MVP.
He may not have won a bunch in his career in the NBA.
25 years old.
That's my point.
That's a veteran.
But it's a veteran in the NBA. Yeah, because these other guys. I mean, Anthony Edwards is 22, and he's been around 4 years. I mean, look, 2018 was when he was picked. So what 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. This is his 6th year in the NBA. That's a veteran at this point. And so their leader is a veteran. They're super young, and I agree with you. Throw away that narrative. But it's an interesting look because they go so deep, and we talk all the time about short rotations. That's why this is an interesting look. Look, I'm not telling you this is an interesting look because, oh my goodness, take where they come from. No. They're the number 1 seed. It's an interesting look because they're young, and they keep coming at you, and they keep coming at you from different angles.
Yeah, it's one, when you look at Oklahoma City and what they've been able to do, it's it is a reminder of finally capitalizing on your draft picks. But Shai Gilgeous-Alexander came from the Paul George trade, and the big thing about what they were able to do is they got him to stick around when they weren't winning games for a couple seasons, and then you bring in Chet Holmgren, and then he misses the entire year last year. Like, oh, here we go. Then you're able to supplement it with Josh Giddey did nothing last night.
But last year, I mean, they loved Giddey.
Yeah, but it's it's another lottery pick. And then what they've done to get like Isaiah Joe, Wiggins, those guys are a couple years in their NBA careers and just solid rotation players, and they've done an unbelievable job because they got the Jalen Williams from San Francisco, as opposed to the Jalen Williams from
They got
Arkansas.
J-Dub and J-Will, as they call them. They're very creative.
Draft picks. Like, if you're looking at, oh, man, what do you do? How do you restart? How do you rebuild a franchise? Do a deep dive into the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Well, look at Lou Dort, right? I mean, here's a guy in his 4th season out of Arizona State and bought into his role and locks down and has become one of the best defenders in the league.
And it's development. Like, the guy came into the league and he couldn't shoot.
100%, and I'm not sure he can shoot all that great now.
And now he's a 40% 3-point shooter.
Is he at 40%?
Yeah.
Oh, smokes. All right, I did that I didn't know. I know what he did last night. I guess 2 for 5 is 40% last night. Yeah, right on his number last night. But look, every championship team, if you go back through the years, you can go all the way to the Lakers and Michael Cooper. Okay, they got a dude who he'll score for you, but he plays defense. Draymond played defense for the Warriors, right? I mean, there's always who's that dog on defense, and it's this guy. Now Minnesota's got a bunch of them because they play both ends of the floor. Oklahoma City's nice, man, and they're no fluke as a 1 seed, and I don't know if this is going to be a short series or how this is going to go, but we're staring at Minnesota, Oklahoma City, aren't we, in the Western Conference Final?
We should be. Oklahoma City, as much as I like Minnesota, just because I think, defensively they can get to a different level as opposed to Oklahoma City where it's just kind of really Lou Dort, and then Chet Holmgren does his erasing weak side shot blocking. Like, I trust the Thunder more than I would the Nuggets right now because I've watched 7 games of the Nuggets. The back and forth battle was with the Lakers, how they are absolutely getting destroyed by the T-Wolves. I would expect Oklahoma City to put up a better performance. I still have Minnesota as my favorite in the Western Conference, but it should be between those two teams.
All right, the Nuggets get a couple days off before they play Game 3. They're down 2-0 against Minnesota, but will Jamal Murray have more days off? Did the Nuggets guard get suspended for throwing a heating pad on the floor? It's next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Hour.
This message brought to you by Sandy.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the minutes. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner.
And a heating pad onto the court right in the middle of play. It's dangerous. It's immature. It's silly. It's really kind of, it's inexcusable. Is that fair?
Bush League. Insert
right.
whatever you want.
Yeah, it's good dude.
Bad.
Bad moment, right? Good dude, bad moment. And unfortunately, I think that's what, many people are going to think of him for. So what did the NBA do? And I told you yesterday, I would have no problem if they suspended him. I hope they don't, because I want to see the Nuggets at full strength try to get back into this, and they need Jamal Murray to get back into it. But to me, that's suspendable. To throw something onto the floor in the middle of play to make it dangerous like that is suspendable. Jamal Murray got fined $100,000, and he will play. The NBA announced the fine. Joe Dumars released it. He's the head of basketball operation. And Minnesota's coach, Chris Finch, called it dangerous, inexcusable. The crew chief, the head referee, Mark Davis, said he didn't notice it. That's why he didn't get a technical at the time. For an ejection to occur, you have to see it. And so he'll be there on Friday. Is it Friday? Wow, that's a long break. He'll be there on Friday when they try to get back into the series. So $100,000, and that's kind of what I told you yesterday. I said, all right, so they're going to fine him, and I don't know, like $100,000 is $100,000, and everybody. But when you make $33.8 million, I imagine you can afford that. All right. What did you think when you heard that? Because did you think it was enough? It was probably what you expected, right? Because that's what we're talking about.
You got lucky that it's playoff basketball.
Yeah.
This is regular season. He is being suspended for sure. So it is a double standard right now in the NBA of they did not want to suspend Jamal Murray in the playoffs. They would have easily suspended him if it's the regular season.
Yeah. Would you have had a problem if they suspended him?
No. Because that was so bad. Throwing something like that onto the court in the course of play. Yeah, I know everyone's like, Karl-Anthony Towns is right there, but what if it was his teammate? Or what if it was one of the Nuggets?
Could have been anybody, dude. It could have been Jokic. It could have been Towns. It could have been any. There are 10 dudes on the floor.
Slipped, tweak a knee, anything.
Groin, knee, ankle, anything goes. Yeah.
It's such a bad look. Like, yeah, you're frustrated. Slam something. Yell. But to be throwing stuff, be throwing a tantrum,
Remember in the NCAA tournament when Jalen House came out in the game against Clemson? They caught him on the sideline. It was like emptying squeezing the water bottle or whatever.
Yeah.
Do that. Like, do that. Honestly.
Yes.
Do that. To your point, go kick a garbage can.
Like, and this would have been, if this is a regular season, this is a multi-game suspension.
It should be. Like, this is just one that, it's inexcusable on so many levels. It's immature. It's disrespectful to the game. And I know that sounds, oh, shut up, get off your high horse, but it is. Because it's disrespectful to the 10 dudes who are on the floor.
And you talk about this all the time, and it's something in life that it's hard for anyone to learn, but you especially have to understand it as an athlete. You have to be able to show up through the bad just like you do through the good.
Yeah.
And no one looked at that night. Because that's also, and then everyone was highlighting. Do you remember the moment when Michael Malone charged at the referee?
Yeah.
He's getting thrown out of any other game.
Great restraint by the official. He didn't even tee him up. Right?
Just yelled right back at him and walked away.
Yeah. It's easy to be classy when you're winning. And I don't know Jamal Murray. Everything I hear about Jamal Murray, good dude, and I'm not going to judge him by this incident. I'm going to pass this off as good dude, bad luck. Is that fair? We all do stuff we wish we didn't do.
Yes.
And I'll tell you, one moment should not define a person. I think, however you think of Jamal Murray, I think you look at his body of work. I kind of go, if you get drunk once, are you a drunk? If you do something stupid, are you stupid? You know what I'm saying? And maybe, I don't know, if you lie once, are you a liar? You play it however you want to play it. It's just how I look at things. I look at the body of work, and I think good people do things that look bad all the time.
Well, I don't even know if we can classify, like, he's never had a problem.
I don't know if he's a good dude or not, is my point. Everything I hear publicly is, good dude. So I'll pass this off as good dude, bad luck. No, JJ, you're right. I don't know this guy, nor do you, nor to any of us. But to your point, there's never been anything, what a jerk, what an a-hole. It's not, there's Draymond, right? Like, if Draymond did this, you'd go, of course.
Yeah.
Right? There's some dudes you would expect it from. Right? What if Kyrie Irving did that? Right? You didn't expect it from that, dude. And look, it's easy to be really, 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 fun, classy when you're winning. In a lot of respects, you're judged on how do you handle the tough times? How do you handle defeat? How do you handle adversity? You hear that all the time, man. I mean, how do you judge people? How do they handle adversity? Everybody's a good front runner. Everybody's good when they're winning. And I'm not telling you this dude's a bad guy. He's just got to be better. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely.
All I'm saying about Jamal Murray. I don't know him. Never
You're
thought a
throwing
bad thing
things
about him.
in the direction of a referee that end up on the court in the course of play. Like, it's a double standard, and we know if this wasn't the playoffs, Jamal Murray would not be playing basketball for a couple games.
Yeah, and probably shouldn't, even though it is the playoffs, but he will play. Be interesting to see the reception he gets.
It won't matter though.
So you still think it's
Minnesota's
right?
going to be insane. Like, it's going to be one of those games. Anytime Jamal Murray touches the basketball, it's the booze. Like, they're going to go in there, and if they thought they were rocked in Denver and their spirits were broken
in their own house,
they're going to pray they're not down 20 points in the first quarter.
Which they are every damn night, it feels like. Doesn't it?
Yes.
All right. What's a better atmosphere in the NBA right now, Oklahoma City or Minnesota? You know how Philadelphia became baseball's spot, right, in the postseason over the last couple of years?
The answer's yes.
Yes,
because
right?
both teams are experiencing this level of success for the first time ever.
So I went to a game in Oklahoma City this year. Ironically,
not the first time ever for OKC. They've been to the NBA
Finals.
Well,
but for this group,
it's been a minute for that.
It was my first game in Oklahoma City. Ironically, they played the Pistons. It was the start of that Pistons long losing streak. It was the very
another curse you're a part of, Jeff.
It was there for that. Yeah.
I didn't know you were associated with the Pistons curse.
Yeah, put me on that one too. That one's since been broke, right? They won a game since then, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. It was like 20 games.
Did you accidentally bump into their coach and like, hey, do you like Sundays?
That's who they do. I did. I bought him an ice cream.
Some ice cream.
I bought him an ice cream. It was like a Thunder cup or something because they're the Thunder. See, and hence the I see what happened.
You had a Thunder cup curse.
Nice. All right, it's all on me. The atmosphere was really good for I think it was for a November game against the Pistons on a Tuesday night. It was really kind of fun. But you watched that last night, man. These people are going bonkers in a town like that, where that's their only major league franchise. They're gonna lose their collective minds.
Just think what could have been if you ever built the El Pinto Palace.
If I ever built it, if only you're right, because the Thunder are there. If you go back and trace it, and this metropolitan area is as big, or at least was at the time, bigger than Oklahoma City. But after Katrina, the New Orleans then Hornets needed a place to play. They couldn't play in New Orleans. And Oklahoma City said, come on over. We've got an arena. We'll host you. And the city handled it so well. And that's how good, that's how they got it. You want me to take a break or you want me to take the call? Where do you want me to go? All right, Don, hold on. I want to hear from you, but I got to take this break. 505-246-0610. Rudy Gobert now owns part of NBA history. Wait, the dude who didn't play the other day? Yeah, he now owns part of history. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
$100,000 fine makes $33.1 million a year. Now it's down to $33 million. What if Draymond Green would have done it? Pat says, what if Draymond would have done this? It should have warranted at least a one-game suspension. He threw two objects, not one. I agree with you. He threw the towel, he threw a heating pad. Pat, you and I are on the same page. I believe he should have been suspended. I understand why he didn't. He wasn't. To some regard, because it's the playoffs and they treat this somewhat differently. But I agree with you. Text line also says, I love watching the youngsters rise up. Yeah, it's a young Oklahoma City team. No, Pat, you and I are on the same team. I think he should have gotten suspended as well. Don, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. How you doing, Don?
Good, Jeff. How are you, sir?
Good.
You hear me okay?
Yep. How you living?
Great. Oh, doing good. Had the opportunity to go out to Twin Warriors for a district golf tournament yesterday.
Beautiful.
A little bit windy.
A
Of
little
course,
bit.
it's in great. But anyway, looks like Kenny called it on the Jamal Murray thing yesterday. He was, said that he wouldn't get suspended. I'm really disappointed in Jamal. I was really thought highly of him. He seemed to be of high character, and then again, he just let his emotions get the best of him. But I think he's a solid individual. He's just frustrated. But you were talking about being in Oklahoma City for a game. My boys and I had the opportunity to be in Oklahoma City the day that Durant came back. So we bought tickets. And talk about an arena that was just over the top. You think the pit's loud, and granted the pit is loud. It was nothing like what that arena was the day that Kevin Durant stepped back on that court with the Warriors. It was insane.
You mean they didn't just shower him with love?
Surprisingly, no. I was kind of shocked that they didn't. But no, it was raining down booze, and every time he touched the ball, it was just over the top. It's good to see the youngsters taking over. I was worried about Durant leaving and Curry, but I think the NBA's in good hands with all these youngsters.
Yeah, I think
once taking my call.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. JJ, I think once people accept this happens whenever a generational player gets towards the end. Well, how's the league going to survive? I don't care what league it is, right? We just went through this with quarterbacks. Well, I mean, they're not going to have Brady and Manning and Rodgers for much longer. And what are they going to do? I think they're just fine, don't you? In the National Football League?
Yes, someone else will step up. And especially, and I think it's a good thing maybe to do Friday morning. We were talking about it. Like, who was you taking? Like, the next, say you have a 4-year window. Who do you want?
To start?
To start. Like, because, all those guys you're talking about, you're not taking Kevin Durant. You're not taking LeBron James.
Yeah,
probably not taking Steph Curry anymore.
I think if you're starting a franchise right now, you're taking it's Jokic has to be in the mix. Anthony Edwards is absolutely in the mix. I still think Giannis has to be in that conversation. Doesn't Luka? I mean, even though
Luka Doncic,
can you win?
Giannis,
can you win a championship with Luka's
Jokic?
No. Wembanyama,
Jason Tatum, Victor Wembanyama.
He's got to be. And you look at it and you say, okay, where's the league going to be in 5 years from now when Wembanyama's all over your TV, when Anthony Edwards is everywhere? And I don't know if this is going to be really interesting when Anthony Edwards hits a payday moment and LeBron James is gone and does LA lower him, right? I mean, just the whole Lakers mystique, because who's their next superstar? When LeBron James is done, whenever that happens.
Well, when Anthony Edwards is finished with his $220 million contract that he signed with Minnesota in 5 years.
Is it 5 years? Okay.
4 or 5 years.
Yeah. Whenever it is. But I mean,
he's 28, 27, 28. Yeah, he's going to get a enormous contract.
You know, can the small market teams, and I say small market, Minnesota's a relatively big market, but it's considered small. San Antonio.
Yes,
can they
they're doing
keep
it
some
right
of
now.
These guys. Oklahoma City. You look, because I think San Antonio is going to be interesting. I want to see what they do in the offseason. Oklahoma City last year was nothing, right? They get Chet Holmgren healthy, add some pieces. They're the number 1 seed in the West. Like the turnaround that happened there from a year ago, Minnesota's interesting and they're on the up. They were in the playoffs last year, right? They were.
So was Oklahoma City.
Was Oklahoma City in the playoffs last year?
They were a play-in team.
They were a play-in team. Yeah. Were they the 10?
They were 2 games under 500.
Yeah, I mean they weren't good last year. And then they get, what was the big additions for them? One of the Williams and then Holmgren.
And Chet Holmgren.
I mean, Holmgren was the
healthy.
Yeah, he sat out all last year. He was their number 1 pick. He was the number 1 pick in the draft, right?
No.
Number 2. Who was number 1 that year?
Paulo Banchero.
That's right. So who are you starting with? I mean, is Jalen Brunson on your list?
No.
So it's your list is picked from Edwards.
He would be
Jokic, Doncic,
like back in.
Okay. Giannis, Tatum, Wemby. That's 7. Zion isn't healthy enough to be on that list. John Morant might have been, but he's just not. No, well, I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Paulo Banchero, anywhere near your list? He would be on your list? I mean, I that's pretty good. Halliburton's probably not on your list, but he's really good. Joel Embiid?
Like, Embiid has the talent. Don't trust his body.
Jalen Brunson? Kyrie Irving?
I think Brunson would be flirting maybe 10 to 15 if I was actually building this list, which I'll sit down and do. Because I think
Shai
it's fascinating.
Gilgeous-Alexander?
Yep. I'd have him over Brunson.
So,
But
I mean,
think
there's a solid 10, man.
Yeah. And that's not, and Brunson is showing he can be that guy because he's doing it right now without a legit, number 2 star, because we're always hyper focused on that. But it's also the realization when you talk about it, and the first thing out of your mouth is, well, the Lakers have money.
Everybody's got money, man.
Yeah. But if you look at it, right now, it's AD and LeBron, and you can only do so much. Like, you can't stack stars. And yeah, they're going to want to play certain places. Dame, his time came to an end, but he put in a long run in Portland. When he was trying to get to Miami, they send him to Milwaukee, of all places, because they have Giannis. So it comes down to these franchises can have their moments in the sun if they hit on that right lottery pick.
Text line says, I don't know if you guys caught it because you got to get up super early, but when they interviewed Shai Gilgeous-Alexander post-game, all 5 starters joined the interview. I did not see it. Did you?
That is what they have done all season long. So that's kind of their thing.
Yeah.
And they've done it
I love that.
and they actually did it in the first round of the playoffs. TNT, their sideline reporter, was getting ready to talk with Chet Holmgren, but the OKC home TV reporter was talking about, I don't know who he's talking to, and then immediately the Thunder player left to join the team scrum. So that's their thing. They do a post-game team interview on the floor.
I can't tell you how much I love it. There's some really cool. They're really likable. Like, honestly, young. There's not a lot to not like about them. You know what I'm saying?
Well, who's not likable right now? Like in Jamal Murray, but usually it's the been there, done that.
Well, okay.
Like, you don't have your LeBron or the teams that are just beating everybody.
Yeah, well, because of that, teams who win, people don't like. So the Nuggets kind of went, all right, whatever. And I like Jokic, but we had this conversation yesterday. A lot of people just flat out don't. And I think that's ridiculous. Fair enough. I mean, who's not likable outside of the Lakers?
Is it the Celtics just because the Boston Celtics brand?
There's some of that. I'll give you the Boston Celtics brand. Yep. Are the Mavericks likable? Luka's an interesting cat. Kind of a whiner, but really, really good. Not kind of a whiner, an insane whiner. I mean, I think they made it.
I think Kyrie, just playing basketball this season has helped people. Like, cool.
Kyrie's been really good this year. You know, one of my favorite lines yesterday, I was watching the Mavericks game. Luka went down, and they said he's not right. They went to break. They came back. Oh, Luka's fine. He didn't go to the trainer. He went straight to the official. So that's Luka Doncic. I mean, he's just fine. Everything's right. He's complaining to the official again. That's how it is. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. I'll tell you how Rudy Gobert made history. The guy who did not play in the game 2 nights ago. Now part of NBA history. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM, and it's good. The Sports Hour.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom. Boom.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the minutes. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420.
National Basketball Association. That came down yesterday. It is Rudy Gobert. The Minnesota Timberwolves center now owns a piece of the NBA record for winning the league's Defensive Player of the Year for the fourth time. That's the guy who did not play. He had his first child, or his family had their first child the other day. He's 31 years old. He won it in 18, 19, and 21, all with the Utah Jazz. Pretty good names that are the other four-time winners. Dikembe Mutombo and Ben Wallace. I'm fine with it. 7-1. They had the best defense as a team. He's 7'1". They had the best defense as a team this year, allowing only 108.4 points per 100 possessions. And he said it was great teamwork. And I'm fine with Rudy Gobert winning this award. You're not.
Yeah. I think Defensive Player of the Year is a hard one because I look in, it's so center dominated, but then you watch Minnesota without Rudy Gobert and you're like, defense was just as good. And just maybe look at wing players a little bit more. We know he is an absolute difference maker. But it's just when I think you'll get rebounds and blocks. And
to your point,
that's why Victor Wembanyama was the second place finisher.
Well, the top four. Victor Wembanyama was second. Bam Adebayo was third. Anthony Davis was fourth. Herbert Jones was a way distant. But it was Wemby who was second. Gobert got 72 first place votes. Wemby 19. Bam got 3, and Anthony Davis got 4. One went down to Drew Holiday. Somebody wanted to vote for the guards, and I'm fine with that. The other guys on the list: Herbert Jones, Drew Holiday, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Derek White, and Giannis Antetokounmpo had 1 second place vote. It is a center dominated. I don't have the list of defensive players of the year in front of me, but it tends to go to the big guys. So all that's left now is MVP to announce. The NBA has announced their awards: most improved, Tyrese Maxey. The Sixth Man of the Year, Naz Reid of the Wolves. Clutch player. I don't even know what I think that means. Like, is that always been an award, Clutch Player of the Year?
If it's a relatively new one.
Okay. Steph Curry. Coach of the Year is the guy that you don't even know his name, Mark Dagnall of the Thunder. You can pick him out of a lineup of 2, I'll bet. Right? Most people. But they will by the end of the series, I think. The Executive of the Year, Brad Stevens. He did a hell of a job putting that Celtics roster together. Teammate of the Year. What the hell does that mean?
Teammate of the Year.
Is that the guy who brings the orange slices and the Capri Suns and attaboy? All right, Mike Conley, Timberwolves. Hustle of the Year, the best hustler. Card Shark. Alex Caruso of the Bulls. Did you know that award was given out?
The last 2 years, they added a bunch of new awards.
I see that.
Is that how many steps you get in your Fitbit?
I imagine.
The year.
I don't. Okay. Defensive Player of the Year, Rudy Gobert. Rookie of the Year, Victor Wembanyama. MVP will be announced today. The finalists are Nikola Jokic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Luka Doncic. It'll be Jokic, right?
Looking like it.
Yeah, I believe it'll be Jokic. All right. So there's your hoops as you go through it. Game 2, Indiana and New York tonight. Pacers. That is tonight, right? Is that what I get tonight? Yep. By the way, can you give a minute to the hockey? How about the 2 overtimes last night? How about so the Rangers win a double overtime, beat Carolina, and then the Avalanche in overtime in Texas last night. That's a big win for your club on the road.
It's gigantic. They were down 3-0 in the first period. It was a smash and grab.
Yeah.
You know, the Stars are favorites in the series, as they should be. And for Colorado, it was the feeling of, oh, here we go again. Because in the first game they played against Winnipeg, they gave up 7 goals. And you come out right out of the gate, game 1, second round against the Stars, give it 3 goals. And you're just looking at, like, why is that goaltending so hot and cold? And what is it with the Avs? And they don't give up a lot of shots against, but they sure as heck find the back of the net. And they locked in, started blocking shots. Georgiev, their goaltender, was fire in overtime. First 5 minutes, it was all Dallas. I don't know how they did not win that game. Then you got a scrum in the corner, puck pops out, and all of a sudden Miles Wood shrieking down the near side boards, cuts across, game winner.
Scores! Yeah, the Avalanche call on Avalanche Radio was really, really good. And the Avs win. All right. 505-246-0610. I want to do this when we get back. We listened to the roast. I don't know what y'all thought of the Tom Brady roast over the weekend, Sunday night. I thought it was funny. I think we all laughed. Uncomfortable moments, certainly. It was more uncomfortable. Tom Brady sitting there yesterday, or Donald Trump in court yesterday. Just asking. I'm not making any commentary, just asking. Both felt a little uncomfortable, didn't they? Not everybody loved it. Not everybody was very happy with the roast. The ladies who were affected by this certainly weren't. What they have to say, or at least what people are saying for them about the Tom Brady roast when we come back. International Protective Service has now taken security to a whole new level, like literally a whole new level. They've been, for 18 years, offering standing guards, 24-hour patrols to protect homes and businesses in Albuquerque, and recently they launched service in Santa Fe. But now IPS Global Aviation is using a fleet of drones with high-definition cameras and analytics software to exceed your security expectations. So with drones, IPS can monitor your next event or track emergency response. They'll follow criminal activity you can't see as well from the ground. The drones include thermal imaging, so IPS will help with eyes in the sky during the wildfire season. Unmatched ability to watch from the air. On the ground, IPS continues to use highly trained armed officers to watch homes and businesses. They install cameras. They monitor them around the clock. This deters criminal activity around your property. They even offer personal bodyguards if there's a threat to your safety. So if you have a security issue, IPS has you covered. 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or online at ipsglobal.com, making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Young driver, this one.
laughed afterwards. Didn't know. Did they publicize this roast on Netflix? Did you know about it before? Nor did I. But it was funny. We all watched the highlights and Tom Brady and Belichick and Gronk and all that. And we all, it was kind of funny. It's the opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. And there was, nothing was off limits. The only thing that was off limits was Bob Kraft massage jokes, right? I mean, and Brady's kids, from what I understand, which seems fair. Leaves his kids happy. So there was a lot of divorce, wife, Giselle jokes. So who wasn't very happy, who didn't think it was that damn funny? Evidently, Giselle Bundchen. She evidently, according to reports, is not happy with the way she and her family were disrespectfully portrayed. There was a lot of jokes on there, right? Bledsoe went on and talked about how you'll never know what it's like to have a 28th anniversary. Okay. Evidently, she's dating her jiu-jitsu instructor now. And Kevin Hart said, "You're one of the smartest quarterbacks ever to play the game. How'd you not see this coming? 8 karate classes a day, and she's still a white belt?" Kind of. Except to her. She didn't think that was very funny. Kevin Hart says, "Single life's what you deserve because you got no choice." Giselle gave him an ultimatum. Giselle said, "You retire or we're done." Let me tell you something. You got a chance to go 8 and 9, and it'll cost you is your wife and kids. You got to do what the F you got to do. So she evidently, and I can't blame her. She didn't think it was that funny. And then I guess there were, and I didn't hear a lot of these, but I guess there were Aaron Hernandez jokes. Remember Aaron Hernandez? He's the tight end was the tight end who was ultimately convicted of murder and hung himself in prison. And I guess I didn't hear this. It doesn't seem that long ago, but it was 2013 when he was convicted of murdering Odin Lloyd. He hung himself in 2017, and he's got children. His fiance is not very happy about it. Her name is Cheyenne Jenkins. And she told TMZ, quote, "It's sad that I'm trying to raise my children in such a cruel world." That was her quote. She was talking about her 11-year-old daughter that she's got to explain to this. So I guess Brady said something.
The roast is the least of your worries
if you're
trying to explain to your 11-year-old daughter what she's going to have to deal with.
I think I kind of lean your way on this.
Like, what do people? It's a roast.
Yeah.
They put it out there. They're going to tell jokes that cross the line. They're going to go after everyone. You're going to have your feelings hurt, but that's the whole point of these things.
And everything's off limits? Like it can't be. Brady himself was talking about Gronk, about Gronk, and how, you were good, but, quote, "the bar for Patriots tight end was pretty low back then. Block, catch, don't murder." All right. Am I going to hell for laughing at that?
That's the point of a roast.
I guess Julian Edelman made a hanging joke. Jeff Ross, the comedian, said Hernandez sends his greetings from hell. And then Nikki Glazer, she's funny, man. She was going back and forth with Randy Moss, and she said to Randy Moss, "Why don't you have a ring? What the hell, man? You're one of the best receivers ever. Drew Bledsoe has a ring. Aaron Hernandez had a ring around his neck." Ooh. So, I don't know. To your point, if explaining to your kids why people are roasting your dad, I get. First of all, how much she heard, I'm sure she did. I'll tell you this: if I was roasted, I probably wouldn't have gone to Aaron Hernandez. I probably wouldn't have. That's probably not where I would have gone. I'd have found plenty of other stuff to try to be funny about.
Well, then you don't know Jeffrey Ross in the roast he's a part of.
Fair enough. And I'm not familiar with Jeff Ross a lot.
Like, he kind of got these. He was a big part of getting these started on Comedy Central.
Yeah, I don't know much of his stuff. So what's his thing?
He's a comedian, but Comedy Central's been doing this for it got popular I don't know how long, man. It's been a minute. They were doing these roasts.
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen, Donald Trump, like you name it, they've gone through them.
Look, everybody laughed.
Everyone signed up to be there. They knew what was going on.
Yeah, but Giselle and Shania Jenkins did not. And I guess somebody's going to be offended. Look, everybody's offended by something. I guess if I can almost sit there and think, if I'm Giselle, I get it, man. I don't need to listen to this crap. Now, am I angry or am I just
be angry at
what?
Tom
for agreeing to do it or not putting down the rules?
No, for if you do this,
yeah,
and you have a bunch of rules, then it's not a roast.
I think that's right.
So Tom Brady put himself and his family in the line of joke fire.
So fair enough.
Doing this.
And was she portrayed poorly? I guess she was portrayed poorly by when Kevin Hart said, "Well, she gave you an ultimatum, and you chose going 8-9 over her." Okay. All right. What else? I mean, okay. I don't know. I get it. They're already divorced. They're probably not. I mean, I don't know what their relationship is. The jiu-jitsu thing was pretty funny. I mean, eight lessons and she's still a white belt? Come on now. You're a pretty smart guy. That hit home for her, obviously. Whatever. But that's so not everybody loved it. Take it as you will. State football. Dude, Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice, is he going to play?
More like fried rice.
Is he going to play again?
Not for a while.
Rashee Rice is the Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver. Rashee Rice was a rookie who led all wide receivers in Kansas City last year in receiving yards. They won a Super Bowl. He was a second-round pick out of SMU. He was on a cover of our – is it me again? He was on a cover of New Mexico Bowl program when they played BYU.
He didn't play in the game, though, right?
He didn't play in the game, but he was on the cover of the program. I think he was here. But he didn't play in the game. He might have got a gift.
Of course.
All right, so you know about the whole rented Lamborghini. It was Lamborghini, right? Is that right?
The leased Lambo?
The rented, leased, whatever. That he crashed and caused an accident. And then he was driving, then they walked away, and he's admitted that he did. Now he is a suspect in an alleged assault that injured a man in a Dallas nightclub. When? Earlier this week. Like, you would think after all that goes down, dude just lays low. Dallas Morning News is reporting this, and it was confirmed through police on Tuesday. So officers went to this club early Monday morning. There were reports of an assault. There was a guy that was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, swelling on one side of his face. Kind of like he got popped in the face. Rice was arrested, of course, in that car issue. Now, there's no charges yet, but he's under investigation for allegedly hitting a photographer at a Dallas club. The WFAA, the Dallas Morning News, they're all reporting this. Officers have begun the process of interviewing witnesses about this. At what point does this become a trend that's going to cost Rashee Rice his career?
Now?
I think so.
How is his agent, Andy Reid, any position coach, like, at this moment in time saying, you know what, maybe come to Kansas City and chill for a couple weeks. Like, stop hanging out with your bros at Dallas because they obviously don't have your back and you are not making the right decision.
Well, and you didn't listen to Chris Carter and have a fall guy. Have someone who's just going to take the fall from you. Isn't that Chris Carter's advice? You go out and do stupid stuff, but have somebody who's going to take the hit. I mean, that's what Chris Carter told me, right?
Yes. But when you already have one incident where it's kind of hard to take a fall guy when you're driving a vehicle.
Look, man, and there's video all over the place. And it's harder these days to have a fall guy when you can't get away with anything, man. There's video everywhere. They know where you are. Big Brother's watching you all the time.
And even if Rashee Rice was not directly involved in this, why? Like, it's the whole crew thing.
I know.
It's like your boys don't have your back, man. What are you doing? You just went through this. You're facing some big-time charges in Texas.
I know.
You're going to miss games, and yet you're still out there going, I'm good. We're going out. It's all good.
As of now, according to police, no charges related to the alleged assault have been filed. Chiefs have no comment. Rice's attorney has no comment. Look, this may end up being, well, there's no charges, but this stink will stick to him because you can't tell me what number, most of you can't, what Rashee Rice wears. You can't tell me what he looks like. You can't tell me how many yards. You don't know where he went to college. But you know Rashee Rice was the guy now in that leased Lamborghini that caused that accident, walked away from it. And now you know that he is alleged to have beat a guy in a bar, in a club. Whether he did it or not, allegations stick, man. This is the court of public opinion.
So at this point in time, why are you even in that situation? Like, you need someone to tell you, like, dude, you're stay out of the club for a couple weeks. Like, go to Applebee's and go home.
It's Tuesday night. I got to chill. I got to chill on Tuesday night at the club. Monday night, whatever it was. So
Kansas City sitting there going, well, we did sign Hollywood Brown.
Yeah.
We just drafted Xavier Worthy in the first
round.
We don't
need your ass.
If you want to keep messing around, we're not.
Yes, we don't need you.
Bend over backwards.
You need us. Stop getting in the newspaper for dumb crap. Stop being an idiot. And again, I don't know Rashee Rice, good guy, bad. I don't know. Bad look. Immature, dumb, bad decisions. Is that fair? Bad decisions.
Absolutely. You need to check who's around you.
Sometimes you got to realize.
Like, there's a lot of athletes that go out to clubs and are not always.
That's right.
Getting in fights.
In fact, I'll tell you the majority.
Who's popping off? Was it someone popping off at Rice and one of your dudes had to step up and defend you, but then you're going to get mixed into that? Like, if you just crashed your Lambo.
Not even yours.
A leased Lambo.
Yeah.
In a race. But you already got another athlete in trouble, student athlete kicked off the team at SMU.
That's right.
How is no one just like, maybe leave Dallas for a couple weeks?
Yeah, just go hang. You know what? You can go to the Bahamas, go to Hawaii, go just get away. Lay low. Or you know what? Maybe just chill at the crib for a little bit. Have some people over that you like. Invite some ladies if that's your thing, man. Do whatever. Just stop making bad decisions because it's going to cost you your career. And your career is what's allowing you to live this lifestyle. And it is not a right. It is a privilege. And dudes
really
like
can't
you
be leasing Lamborghinis without that NFL check.
And by the way, you're good. You're not that damn good that you can do stupid stuff allegedly more than once and continue to pull an NFL paycheck. You're good. You're not that good.
Not Antonio Brown good.
Exactly. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
This report is brought to you by Black Mesa.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. I can show that you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the minutes. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. View Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE.
Was Richard Pitino getting a contract extension. It will run through the 28-29 season. $50,000 a year raise, $1.2 million next year, makes him the fourth highest paid coach in the league. And where I am, it makes sense. It's where you want to be as far as it's what you think you are as a program, right? You think you're one of the best programs in this league? Well, then you kind of pay for what you are, right? Richard Pitino has brought global basketball back, got him to the NCAA tournament. They won a conference championship. And to me, this makes sense. I think most people are on board. Maurice is not, JJ. Maurice sent me an email. It says, what exactly has Dickie P done here? Remember, he already received a contract extension. To me, that is justified when there has been outstanding work. There has been no outstanding work done here yet. The program is better than when? In 3 years in your league, global basketball has finished 10th, 6th, and tied for 6th. That's very similar ledger to the last guy. And I can't blame the last guy for the decline in the final season when the governor hijacked the program. John Wooden couldn't have won with that straitjacket on global basketball. It's Maurice. Okay.
It's a bad take for Maurice.
Well,
it is.
Right.
If he's hyper-focused on conference standings and not the entire picture.
Yep. Facts. That's where they finished. Okay, facts. Maurice, you are right. You asked, what has he done? Well, he got him back to the NCAA tournament for the first time in a decade. Seems to be where Lobo fan expects this program to be. He got them relevant on a national level. They have been in the rankings. Not regularly, but they've been in the rankings the last 2 years. They cut down nets, won a conference tournament championship. That is the automatic bid. That is the championship for your league. He has brought interest back to a program that did not have interest. So you want to compare it to the last guy. Okay, fair. And if you're telling me that's where the last guy finished in the league standings, can you even compare the way the pit is now, the way interest is now to where it was 6 years ago? You can't. 5 years ago? So he has brought relevancy back to the program. He's won a league championship, got you back to the NCAA tournament, recruited at a different level, got you into national relevancy as far as rankings, and created revenue because people are coming back to the pit. Did I miss something, or am I off anywhere? The question is, what has he done? I mean,
a lot.
I'll start there. I'll give you that. Your facts are right. 10th, 6th, and 6th. And should they be better than 6th place in this league, JJ? They should. I mean, I think we all agree with that.
But I also think that finishing 6th place in the Mountain West that had one of its best seasons ever is not.
6 teams went to the tournament.
Like, if this was, it's a discredit to the Mountain West, and it's talking down to the league for as good as it was this year.
Okay. If you were 6th place in the Summit League, we'd have another conversation.
Yeah, but he's not.
No, I agree with that. Rudy, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Rudy.
Good morning. Oh, I think Maurice just wants a little attention, so he got his attention.
All right.
Look, this program was, what was the net when Richard took over? 302?
3-something, whatever it was. Yeah.
Something like that, out of 353 teams. We were at the bottom. Now we finished with a 22 net this year. Give the man his money. He earned it. By the way, there's another Thomas coming to the pit. Did you see that?
Not sure I did.
Daniel Thomas, 6'8", out of Texas, right there, basically where J.T. Toppin was from, is now committed to the University of New Mexico.
Not this morning?
Yeah, it just happened on Twitter. He's 6'8", out of, Carter High School, which is a great program.
Is that a freshman or?
He's a freshman,
yeah, I did not
6'8".
Okay.
what did I say? That there's more than one JT Toppin in this world?
Yeah.
Well, that's why I think Richard's attitude is refreshing. I traded text with him, and he said, we'll get somebody good.
I promise.
And when you got to have that attitude, right?
Well, of course. Look, let me just tell you something. When you lose something, what do you do with your life? I mean, when you look forward or backwards? Right?
You look forward, because if you're looking backwards, somebody's going to catch you.
I promise you that. And so JT Toppin was good. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat the fact that he's gone, that he left. I'm not. But I'm also not going to sit here and say the program's dead because he's not here anymore.
I'm really excited about the direction of this program, and he's the fourth highest paid coach, but not by that much. I mean, the only one that's really making
Dutcher.
But Dutcher's been how many years at San Diego State?
20-something years it between being assistant and head coach. And that program's look, you may not want to admit it, that program's at a different level. They played for a national championship. They've gone to the Sweet 16 again. They've done something at a level that this program wants to get to. That's all.
And that's why we got to keep Richard at all, whatever it takes. When he joked about wanting a lifetime contract, I wasn't joking. The guy's done more and demonstrated more about other things too. I mean, I've already told the story about my dad, but it's other things that you see in the community, and it's him being part of the community that is so refreshing, and that's what built Lobo basketball, was coaches like that. King and Ellenberger were part of this community. It was the fabric of Albuquerque. So congratulations to Richard, and I can't wait.
All right, man.
Talk to you guys later.
Appreciate it. Yeah, Daniel Thomas committed 6'8" out of Texas. Okay, that's good. It's on the exit. Must be true. Sherman, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. How are you?
Well, yes, I'd like to weigh in too, because Richard has stood the program back up.
No doubt.
Look at it from, quote, the Lobo Club point of view, with record-setting revenues since Richard has gotten to UNM. Each year is greater record than the year before. So it's not just basketball. Richard helps all sports at UNM by creating value in the basketball program.
Oh, that's right. And you're helping answer the question that was asked, right? When Maurice said, what has he done? That's another something that he's done. Yeah.
And these are scholarships. The Lobo Club raises money for scholarships. So, yes, we have all different sorts of NIL and this and that and the other, but basic scholarships are still a critical component of any university's athletics. And so while, Richard's done marvelous for the basketball program, he has helped a hell of a lot of students across the board.
No doubt, Sherman. No, and I appreciate the perspective. Thanks for the call, man. He's
yes,
right.
Sir.
Yeah, no, Maurice asked, what has he done? Those two guys just help answer your question. Ernie said, hey, Jeff, I think somebody should do an analysis on what the revenue of global basketball was, of Lobo basketball was prior to Pitino, and what it is today in attendance and other TV ratings and other things, because I think that should easily justify his increase, and probably we're not paying him enough. That's my thought. Thanks. And it's Ernie. I mean, you're paying a market value. We're your league. You're paying a market value. You're being competitive in your league for what he's done. Now, if he gets you the Sweet 16 and he starts winning more championships, and you're going to pay him more. And it'll pay for itself, and you'll lose your mind. I was listening to Clark this morning, Bob Clark's show, and he did this story. And Candy Cruz, who does traffic over there, when Bob said, he makes 1.2, she's like, oh, my God. Right? And because you don't have the perspective. And like Bob said to her, Candy, in the world of college coaching, that's nothing. He's fourth in the league. It's market value. It's like, oh, my God. Well, yeah. Yeah. Him and Bronco are the highest paid state employees. It's not unusual. You can hate it all you want. It's athletics. And by the way, their programs can generate a lot of money.
There's no reason to be upset just because we're in the wrong business, the radio business.
You and I picked the wrong
not the coaching business.
No doubt. And when we come back, one guy might be out of his business after his interaction with Caitlin Clark. Sometimes I tell you, I just cringe at questions that people in our profession ask. This one was uncomfortable. It was about 2 weeks ago. finally his employer came down on him yesterday. Be careful. And don't get too cringy with Caitlin Clark or anybody else. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
Refractive lens exchange, the latest technology, the best eyesight I've.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Show that shit better than all my intentions. I can show that you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the minutes. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnflow.gov/do-not-host.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds.
International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago.
ML. Lobo Hobo got a reply for Sherman who said Lobo Club has been up. He says, Jeff, when the price of everything is up 50%, everything is a record. I'm paying record amounts at the grocery store. A $50 to the Lobo Club is the same as $1 5 years ago. Not really, but okay. I mean, look, numbers are numbers. You can spin them any way you want. All right, I tell you over the time, I cringe sometimes at our profession. Reporters, some of the questions you and I've said, how many press conferences you just kind of go, where's this person going, right? And everybody's trying to ask a question. This is JJ. This is about 2 weeks ago now. This is Greg Doyle, Indianapolis Star, to Caitlin Clark. And when he talks about this, he's doing the hand heart thing that she does to the crowd. Here's the interaction. I'll tell you how this ended up. That was doing the heart thing right there. That's cute. I mean, I don't.
Awkward.
It's just cringy, isn't it? It's just so. All this time later, the Indianapolis Star suspended Greg Doyle. There was a lot of backlash that came from that, and they suspended. him. Like other reporters in the room kind of laughed. It was awkward. Then the social media just went nuts. Once it hit, there was someone on X wrote, almost every one of my women colleagues and students in sports media and sports journalism are sharing that clip of Greg Doyle and Caitlin Clark with disgust. We are righteously furious and fed up. His credentials should be revoked and offered to an unentitled journalist who respects women. That was where that went. He hadn't written much. The Indianapolis Star did suspend him, and it's 2-week suspension following the exchange. JJ, I don't know what he was doing. How else do you look at that? But he was hitting on Caitlin Clark, right? In front of everybody.
It's
how
crazy
else do you
that it
look at
took
it?
the Indy Star 2 weeks to be like, you know what, that was a poor interaction for one of our reporters on an introductory press conference with Caitlin Clark. Now we're going to address it.
Yeah, I'll get into this more when we get back because it was really cringy. And what's right and what's not right, and what are you what's off limits? Come on, just be a pro. And this guy's been around a long time. How'd that make you feel when you just heard that? 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Hour.
Because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, refractive lens exchange.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Hey, look, it's Dwight Goodman. Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom. Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
All right, so what can you ask what you can't ask? Sometimes it's pretty easy, man. You're a reporter. You don't have to be a veteran, and this guy's a veteran. Indianapolis Star, Greg Doyle. You've read his stuff. You might not know you read his stuff, but you read it. Be a professional. Don't be. This was just creepy. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, 505-246-0610. So we just played you the clip of an encounter last month between Caitlin Clark, the number one pick of the Indiana Fever, the number one pick of the WNBA, and a reporter from the Indianapolis Star, a guy named Greg Doyle. And he said, you know, that did the heart, her hands, that she says, yeah, I do that to my family after every game. And he says, well, if you do it with me, you and I will get along just fine. It was like, ooh. So, JJ, here's what's happened. Greg Doyle is banned from covering Fever games in person. He's not allowed to go to Fever games. He's suspended for 2 weeks. He is still allowed to write about the Fever, but he is not allowed, just from home, he's not allowed to go to the games.
Forever or just for this period?
For now. I don't know. Forever's a long time. It's a long time. Doyle evidently hasn't written a word since a column on April 29th. It is now the 8th of May. He said in that column, quote, I'm devastated to realize I'm part of the problem. Caitlin Clark, I'm so sorry. That was part of what he wrote. He apologized to her on social media, called his comments clumsy and awkward. He'll return to work next week on Monday. Again, look, I don't know this dude. It could be good guy, bad decision. It could be the Jamal Murray thing, right? It could be. I've read Greg Doyle stuff over the years. He seems to be a good writer. Is that dude is it a guy trying to be funny around his peers? It was
trying to be funny and he crossed the line.
Well, he obviously
wasn't. We've all been in press conferences that there's lighthearted moments and things go back and forth. But there is, I think, a different standard when you are a male reporter saying something like that to a female athlete is, oh, do that to me and we'll be fine.
Yeah.
You can't say that, man.
You just can't. Now, they quietly suspended him. And I guess he's been suspended now. JJ just came out yesterday. But if the suspension ends on Monday, he's been suspended now for 2 weeks. So it didn't take them that long. They just didn't put out what they did.
They probably should have announced that because it was a firestorm.
And it could be, and I don't know, it could be HR protocol. We just don't announce. We don't talk about personnel issues. And when something gets to be this, when you become the news and you are the news, you know what I mean? At some point, you need to squash this thing. But his last byline was April 29th. He wrote a piece about the Colts. So that's almost 2 weeks ago. And that's the last anybody's seen or heard of him. And then he apologized to Caitlin Clark. Doyle sent emails. There's an auto response that says he was getting tired and taking time off, and he'll return May 13th when his suspension ends. So I look at it, man, and again, I don't know, dude, but you're defined by your worst moments. You just are. Unfortunately, at times you're defined by your worst moments. And Jamal Murray, I don't know Jamal Murray, but man, this is what you're going to remember him for a minute for. not winning the championship last year necessarily, but this, especially if you're not a Nuggets fan. You've never heard Greg Doyle. Even if you've read his stuff, you don't know who he is, but all you know about him is, God, that's that creep who got really cringy. And give me another word. If you got a better word, I'm listening.
And I think this is appropriate for this situation. I don't think he should be banned forever from being able to cover the games. But that was one that if it was flipped, a female reporter doing that, it would be the same thing. Oh, she's just thirsty. Why are you even there? What are you doing? You're not a reporter covering sports.
It's just weird, man. It's just, sometimes, do you ever just wonder what are people thinking? Like, what's your point? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to be funny? Are you literally trying to hit on her right there in front of everybody? Like, what is your point? I don't know. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. We got other emails this morning. We were talking about Richard Pitino and his contract extension. I did get the question, what has he done? I think we've answered that. He's done a lot. Joseph on the text line, speaking of bowls, as we were earlier, the Gin and Juice Arizona Bowl, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Yeah. How about what Kim and the Arizona Bowl did? Dude, they've everything I've seen on the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl presented by Gin and Juice by Snoop and Dre has been, for the most part, people want a part of it. It's like I haven't seen a negative comment on it. Have you? And good for them, by the way.
Absolutely a great bowl game sponsor.
Yes. Yes.
Now that, they're kind of getting over the stigma of alcohol being part of it.
Yeah.
In college athletics, because I sit there and I do reads for Bud Light during a women's college basketball
game. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Why couldn't they sponsor something?
Lobo fans, games are better with a Bud Light. Isn't that what you say?
Yep. So, and they've really found a cool niche where it's a little off the beaten path, but going from Barstool to now this, it just kind of has it's like that party vibe.
Modelo was in on the kickoff classic that's going to be LSU in Arizona. I'm sorry, LSU and USC in Vegas. That's been announced. And then this, and look, getting Snoop behind this. I mean, if there's a universal, I don't know, is there a performer that's kind of more universally accepted / liked and thought to be cool than Snoop? That's gone from kind of had his niche and was underground, but is mainstream, that people just, wow, that's cool. I mean, she kind of hit it on this one, didn't she? And I saw Snoop out at Isleta Pavilion last summer. It was sold out. It was fun as hell. It was a diverse crowd. Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl presented by Gin and Juice by Snoop and Dre. I think she kind of hit it, man. Good for her. Good for her. What else I got on the email? Let's see. Most desperate theory. What people are pissed off about Isotopes. Is this the worst Isotopes team we've ever seen? Jeffrey and Juan Jose. Hey, what do you say? Albuquerque's team going to win today? There might not be a more desperate team in the country after getting blued out last night. I think they're going to come out strong at Armando. 7-5 they win, says Dan. All right. Richard wants to know how your organization got so bad.
When were they ever good?
Man, Knox had never been known for defense, but they were going to pound, especially when playing at JJ's gym. This year, they aren't even crushing the ball. They're not good, dude.
That's a fair point.
They'd
find a way to score some runs, even if they get outscored.
They're not good. Huge night out at the ball pitch tonight. MLS team in town. We talked to Eric Quill. If you missed Eric Quill yesterday, he's the head coach and general manager, technical director of New Mexico United. They play Real Salt Lake tonight. And then there's this, and this kind of hit, and this will be a big name, and I knew this was coming, and I'm stoked for this. Coaching news, there's some names, some family names in this town that resonate and do really well. And the Dotson name is a big name. Scott Dotson's going to be the new wrestling coach at El Dorado. And I think that's great. Scott's a good friend, and Charlie, of course, is the head coach there. And those of you who know the Dotson family know the history with wrestling. That family goes back to their dad and how great he was at Iowa. It's a great move for them, and congratulations to them. All right, when we come back, 505-246-0610. We're going to get into the hoops last night. Oklahoma City stifles a slumping Luka Doncic. How did they do it, and can Luka bounce out of this? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Travis Kelce's girlfriend. Travis Kelce.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Men, Daniel Thomas, a 6'8" big man from the Dallas area, committed on Twitter this morning to UNM, filling one of the scholarships. JJ, I don't know. I mean, again, this is one of those where, freshmen, from what I understand, freshmen, right? I'll get excited when I see him come down the ramp, but I think it's a good thing. It feels like, a guy that had a lot of offers. SMU was in on him and a lot of other places. But it feels like this is pretty good. You down with that?
I'm always down when student athletes get the opportunity to commit. Especially if they put on the jersey for your school. It's one you look for the release and see how he gets in there. I think it's. I hope there is a little of give the kid a chance. Because you just see a forward from Texas and expect him to be the Mountain West Freshman of the Year.
Easy on that.
Like all of a sudden, JT Toppin decided to transfer. Like, well, he was kind of short, really wasn't that good. But now we got this kid.
Yeah, all right, let's see where that goes. All right, this is Lobo or New Mexico basketball related news. The TBT, the basketball tournament, Kenny Thomas will coach over the summer, a team that won a couple games last year. Anthony Mathis, Bryce Alford, Scott Bamford, all committed to play. Bamford's been their best player, right?
Oh, yeah, he's learning about him, and I didn't know. I felt bad not knowing about his story.
When he was on our show, that was one of the best.
Del Norte.
Yeah.
And then what he's been through in his life, he's A+ dude.
And now you got shooters, Bryce Alford and Terrence Mathis coming back. That's a pretty big deal, too.
Terrence Mathis might be able to play as a point guard.
Okay. I'm down with that, too.
Anthony can shoot Terrence, so do you think he'd still want to play?
Oh, what did I say, Terrence?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I heard he was a really good hooper, though.
Yeah. Anthony Mathis will be coming back with Bryce Alford. All right, and then there's this, and you got to get used to some new names. Lobo Women announced some signings yesterday, international players. A guard from Portugal and a guard from the Congo. Liddy Mwamba, 5'10" for the Congo. She played high school and junior college in the United States. She was at Texas's Trinity Valley Community College last year. And so she got recruited. So it's Liddy Mwamba. And then you're going to have to help me if you already know on the pronunciation here. Joanna Maglahayas. Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm just asking you.
You're
You're the voice of Lobos, man. Maglahayas. I'm gonna go with that because I honestly don't know. She's from Portugal. She'll be a freshman next season.
I'll listen to her say her name
and ask her. Maglahayas. That's where I'm going with now. 5'5" won a national championship playing for a club in Portugal on their national team program, a club called Quinta dos Lombos. So she goes from Quinta dos Lombos to the Los Lobos. So they got 11 players on their team with the three other signings, Clarissa Craig, Amaya Moreland, and Destiny Hooks. And there's more campus visits scheduled this weekend. So Mike Bradbury's putting together a roster that he had to rebuild. So look, I mean, again, I'm going to take the women the same way I take the men. When I see them come down the ramp, I'll be fired up about them. And you read about their accolades and they're good and they were recruited by and all this stuff. But okay, I mean, they're filling out the roster and just like you knew they would. People lose their mind. You lose players. How can Anaya leave and what are we going to do? And you're going to find more players. There's so many players out there and there's so many good players. Go find the good ones and bring them into an atmosphere where you've got such an advantage with this home court and what you do here, and let Bradbury coach. I mean, honestly, There's a zillion players out there, and he's all over the world finally.
There is, and when it all went down and you lose that many players, and it's Paul Reyes, it's Nia Wilson, and Ogman deciding to retire from basketball, you have a lot of people asking why.
I know.
Even in the transfer portal era, when you finished second place in the Mountain West Conference, your coach was just awarded Mountain West Coach of the Year. Why would you lose so much of your starting lineup? But now you hit the transfer portal. I'm really excited about the JUCO additions because I've seen some JUCO players make incredible impacts, especially in the Mountain West. And the front court, I think, it's really intriguing because all of a sudden, Clarissa Craig, 6'3", she's slated to be the starting center. Amaya Moreland, they move her to the 4. You have Ulda Joachim coming back, who was a huge part of what they did at the forward position last year. And a team that's kind of been struggling for depth all of a sudden has 3 really good options up front.
It seems like it, yeah. It seems like it. All right, and shout out to Desiree Spearman, New Mexico State, the freshman sensation for New Mexico State, who was named Conference USA Player of the Year in softball, not Freshman of the Year, Player of the Year. She was named Freshman of the Year earlier, placed on the All-Conference freshman team. She was named All-Conference USA first team as a pitcher and an outfielder, and now she's named Player of the Year. She's hitting .345, hit 16 home runs, which is best in Conference USA, ranked top 5, 38 RBIs, second on the team in total bases. I mean, just a great year for her, and ranks 24th in the nation in home runs as a freshman. Portal, let's hope you can keep her, right? Where's the NIL for softball?
I think she's from El Paso.
She is from El Paso. Yeah. Yeah, she is. So good.
She's really good.
Yeah.
Called one of her games.
Did you?
Nice.
Nice.
And they played UNM, and you're just like, okay, this is a different level. Player's pretty darn good as a
so you could see that.
Yeah.
By the way, it was windy yesterday. Did we need to call off the Lobo Aggie baseball game yesterday?
Did they? Probably not. But at this point in the season, I'm sure the Aggies are even like, yeah, we're good at not taking that bus up there.
I mean, it was windy, but it wasn't stupid, silly windy. Like it's spring in New Mexico windy. I don't know. They called that off a day before, and you're like, really? It was good. That's when I said, oh, wow, it's going to be really, really bad. And then I'm like, well, it really wasn't that bad. Gopher said Caitlin Clark hot take. Jeff, you want to talk about a nothing burger? The hype is insane, and her first few games are going to draw ratings off the charts. As people realize it is still just the WNBA by midsummer, it'll all die down. With all due respect, Gopher, this is way more than a nothing burger. Now, do I believe that it'll become more routine in the summer and you won't watch as many WNBA games, maybe any more than you did in the past? I do agree with that. But to think that she is a nothing burger and this is nothing, you're wrong. The ratings will increase. You may not watch more, but it will bring more people to that game. It will. Will they stick? Some. Will almost every Indiana game, like 30 out of 32s on network TV? Something silly.
Not
like
network TV, but it's
on,
I think available to watch.
Okay. Which is way more than they were in the past. No, Gopher, I'm going to disagree with you. I mean, respectfully. To call it a nothing burger, like, is it the biggest thing ever? She's kind of the biggest thing to ever hit women's basketball since, I don't know, Cheryl Miller. Because, by the way, she is that good. See, if she wasn't that damn good, we could have this conversation about the hype. But she is. Just watch her, dude. You don't get to make up those numbers. And she was playing against everybody who was throwing double and triple teams out. She is that good. Now, is she going to dominate the WNBA like she did in college basketball? She will not. She'll be a good player in the WNBA. And by year 2 or 3, let's see what she does. But no, Gopher, I'm going to respectfully just disagree to say is a nothing burger. Yeah, the hype is insane, and you're right. The first few games are going to draw ratings. And yes, I do believe they will dip. But will they dip below where they were? I don't think so, no. People will watch early. If she's in the playoffs or doing something insane, they'll watch then. I mean, I'm like Gopher in this respect. I'm not going out of my way to watch any more WNBA games than I ever did. Are you? But people will. I mean, are you one of those persons?
Well, when it comes to consuming the WNBA, I think, it will see a bump and it will find its level. I'm one that I have to remove myself from these conversations because women's athletics has meant so much to me professionally and personally in my career. It's been the foundation that's allowed me to grow in my play-by-play career and all the relationships and people I've met. So when I just hear things like that, I have to take a step back because I'm not going to have like a fair take on it.
So I try to look at it as rationally as I can. Having a daughter who's an athlete, but a high school athlete. She's not going to be a college athlete. But I look at it, there's a ceiling, but I think the ceiling has risen. And if it's not your thing, it's not going to be your thing, whether it's Caitlin Clark or whomever. And I'm not sure it's even my thing. I don't know how much WNBA I will watch. I probably will watch a little bit more. But I'm going to get to the markets where WNBA is a thing. And WNBA...
Well, just look at, to his point, if Caitlin Clark is good, then it can be sustainable.
Yeah.
I think that's a credit to the WNBA that, Caitlin Clark's not going to go in there and be the best player in the league.
100%.
As good as she is.
Yeah, because they're damn good.
But when you look at the hype surrounding her, the fact teams are actually moving venues to play games. Like Washington is actually playing. They have like a 5,000-6,000 seat arena they play in, and they move that game to where the Wizards play
so they
for
can
ticket sales.
10, 12, 14,000 people. By the way, the WNBA just announced a new team yesterday, didn't they? Golden State. So it's expanding. I think the WNBA is somewhat like baseball in the fact that in its markets, it's way more popular than it might be in a place like this. And I refer you again to a baseball market. Go to Houston, go to San Diego, go to St. Louis, go to Kansas City. They love baseball. And they know their team, and they're watching them every day, and it's a deal. Where here, you're like, whatever. And I'm going to guess WNBA is, while not at the same level, somewhat analogous to that. Where, in Vegas, they really like the Sparks. I'm sorry, the Aces.
They're constantly selling out. It is such a, it works. They're not trying to be more than they are. I think they're asking for more respect, which is absolutely fine. It's what you do. It's how you sell your product.
Yeah.
But when you look at the successful teams, like the vibe around Vegas, I went to one of those games 2 years ago, and it's pro setting, man. It's pro atmosphere.
It is, and they do a terrific job with it. Yeah. So go for. I'm going to respectfully disagree. I don't think it's a nothing burger. Now, as the summer goes on and we start talking about football camps opening, and are you going to talk more about what Aaron Rodgers is doing on that Achilles than you are about what Caitlin Clark is doing against the LA Sparks? Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's never going to take over that. But in her market in Indiana, will they talk more about her or the Colts? Yeah, probably the Colts, but she'll be number 2. And if they win and she continues to play at the level near where she played, look, man, again, it may not be everything that they're saying it is, but to call it a nothing burger, I think I just flat out wrong. You can disagree with me. 505-246-0610. I'm here for it.
Thanks, Greg Doyle.
Greg Doyle. And that's something else. 505-246-0610. Come on in. 888-922-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. JJ@sportsanimалabq.com. Rory McIlroy was asked to rejoin the PGA Tour's board. What do you say? It's the opening drive, and what does it mean to golf on 95.9 FM and AM 610 The Sports Animal?
Get ready to
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Seriously? You expect me to drive while you aren't wearing seatbelts?
What's the worst that can happen?
Seriously? Buckle up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Boston rolled Cleveland. Game 1 Eastern Conference semifinal. Derek White, 25, became the fifth player in NBA postseason history to make at least 20 three-pointers over 3 consecutive games. He's done 20 for 37, which is 54% over Boston's last 3 playoff games. Jaylen Brown had 32, and the Celtics have a 1-0 lead over the Cavaliers in that series. Nightcap, Oklahoma City pounds Dallas 117-95. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander 29-9 to lead the Thunder. Chet Holmgren added 19.7 rebounds. He had 3 blocked shots. So that's what you got there. Tonight you get New York and Indiana. Reggie Miller's going back to the Garden. He's going to be part of the broadcast team. It's going to be like a Reggie Miller roast. Wonder if it's like his ex-wife's going to be upset about it. What's off limits? Promise you nothing is off limits there. That'll be good. All right, you get next week we get a major in golf. And we talk periodically about golf. You all play golf. We enjoy golf. We love the majors. But we don't know what's going on with the LIV merger and all that. You know, is there a merger? Whatever. We know Rory McIlroy's been front and center of this whole thing on the PGA. He was on the policy board for the PGA. He opted off. And there's been a lot of concerns about bringing him back. Rory said today he will not return. He resigned from the policy board in November. He was expected to replace Webb Simpson on the PGA policy board and the board of directors of PGA Tour Enterprises. But he said, quote, there's been a lot of conversations. Sort of reminded me partly why I didn't stay on the board. So, yeah, I think it got pretty complicated and pretty messy. I think with the way it happened, I think it opened some old wounds and scar tissue from things that have happened before. I think there was a subset of people on the board that were maybe uncomfortable with me coming back for some reason, end quote. So he said the best action is You know, if there's people on there that aren't comfortable with me coming back, then I think Webb just stays on and sees out his term. I think he's gotten to a place where he's comfortable with doing that and just sort of keep doing what I'm doing. I think they're done I think, how about this? I think Rory is done at being used as the face and the scapegoat of trying to keep the PGA together.
Absolutely. He went out there, tried to fly his flag, only to see that everything that he was trying to stand for was just a bunch of BS, because in the end, the PGA Tour was like, as long as we can get some of this money, we'll do it with who is ever going to give us the money.
Yeah, and here's $50 million, Rory, which, by the way, $50 million is a lot of money. But I know you passed up $300 to $400 million to go over there, but here's $50 million because you stayed loyal to us.
And I still think that Roy McIlroy, the statements that he made, I don't think that's what upsets him as much as the fact that the PGA Tour tried to play this game, and then was like, "Oh, we're going to take the money from the Saudis too,"
and didn't even let him know. Like, he found out, like you and I did, you know, in the media, and wasn't part of it. And they ran him
not on
out.
the board, right?
Well, he wasn't that time. He was then, but they ran him out there to be the guy. And
well, when did
this was before November? He backed out in November. Like, here's what we know, or we think we know. The PGA Tour is attempting at this point to negotiate some sort of a final agreement with the Saudi Public Investment Fund. That's what finances live. Their commissioner, the PGA commissioner, Jay Monahan, and a policy board player directors meeting, they met with Yasir Al-Rumayyan, the PIF governor in the Bahamas last month, 2 months ago, March 18th. And I guess McIlroy's met with Yasir as well to discuss men's professional golf. They both said they want to do the right thing with PIF investment in golf. So where are they going, man? I just, you guys, we screw stuff up. You know, like Earth would be a great place if it wasn't for people. Golf would be a great place if it wasn't for some of what they've done to it. Now, you and I are still going to go out on Sundays and play golf. I'm not going to enjoy it any more or any less if these guys figure it out. But when I'm done and I go sit on my couch and watch it, I'm watching tournaments every weekend. I am. And I know you're not, and that's cool because that's not your thing. And some of you watch wrestling, and some of you watch horse racing, whatever. Do your thing. Some watch soccer. Do whatever it is you like. But when I look at the leaderboards, I do miss some of the stuff. You know, I watched last weekend. I watched the Byron Nelson. And it was entertaining because it was close down the stretch. But it was Taylor Pendrith, Ben Coles, Alex Noren, S.H. Kin, Aaron Rai, Byung-Young An, Matt Wallace, Jake Knapp, Rafael Campos, Taiga Semikawa, Kevin Tway, Troy Merritt. See where I'm going? How sustainable is that going to be until you start to get to know who Jake Knapp really is? Like, Jake Knapp's a great story, and he's up there every week. But it's going to take you a minute. It's like when Scotty Scheffler was coming up, you're like, who's that dude? Remember the year I took Scheffler in the Masters? Everybody kind of looked at me like, what the hell? And he finished second or third. Oh, that guy's pretty good. I just wonder how sustainable that is, and that's what they're trying to do, is bring everything back together. Like, we'll all watch next week, right? At Valhalla, we'll watch the PGA Championship. John Rahm's going to play, and Brooks Koepka's going to play. By the way, Brooks Koepka won for the fourth time on the LIV Tour the other day. Did you watch it? Did you know it was happening? I mean, it was, I guess it was good. I don't know. Was that May? That was Singapore. Brooks Koepka minus 15. Beat Cameron Smith by 2 and Mark Leishman by 2. Won a bunch of money. The purse was $25 million. But I mean, where was it? There they are. Cool. There he is in shorts. It's pretty cool. Looks like you and me out on the, except for their shirts are tucked in. I don't tuck in my shirt, usually. I'll tell you, when I went to Congressional years ago, I went out there, and one of the pros there happened to be a guy named Chris Nieto. He was the head pro at Canyon Club for a while. And so I saw him there, and the first thing he said to me, "Oh, I see you tucking your shirt for this place." Yeah. I did tuck in my shirt when I went to Congressional. I did tuck in my shirt. I got lost in the clubhouse at Congressional. Literally just roaming, like it was 3 stories. I was looking at all the pictures on the wall because I played, PGA Championships, U.S. Opens there. And I was literally just looking at the picture. Oh, there's Phil, there's Jack. I went in the locker room, and they all have their own lockers. And then I'm like, I looked at my watch. I better go check in, and I had no idea how to get to the pro shop. I had to ask one of the people where the pro shop was. But he's like, I see you tucked your shirt in. 505-246-0610. All right, when we come back, wrap up everything you need to know as you go through your day, what people are going to be talking about. NFL schedule release date is tentatively set. I'll tell you when that is. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This is Maggie Gray.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, me and my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
The basketball tournament, TBT, the Enchantment, announced their coaching staff is back. Kenny Thomas, Craig Snow's coming back, Ryan Behrman, and a backcourt that will consist of Anthony Mathis, Bryce Alford, and Scott Bamford. They're putting together the TBT team. The Enchantment's coming back. I'm kind of excited that Bryce is going to play on this team. I know he went a Lobo, he won an Aggie, but he was a La Cueva Bear.
You don't care if you're those dudes. You're just finding dudes to help you win.
Well, and even those guys like Scott Bamforth was a great high school player at Del Norte.
New Mexico.
In New Mexico. And Bryce Alford was, if I'm not mistaken, is he still the leading scorer in the history of New Mexico high school basketball? I don't know, but he's right up there. He's as good.
It's the Enchantment. Yeah, they have the turquoise, they have the red, but their thing is New Mexico basketball. Get the dudes that can help you win.
Yeah. So that's really cool. People would be talking about the hoops last night. Boston beats the Cleveland Cavaliers 120-95. 1-0. They up in that series. Oklahoma City beat Dallas 117-95. The Thunder up 1-0. And the NFL schedule, JJ, is due to be released next Wednesday night. A week from today, 6 o'clock our time on the NFL Network. It's like a holiday for people, right? And so a couple games will leak out. We already know the Chiefs and Niners are going to play. Ravens and Chiefs are going to play. We know the Thursday night opener in Kansas City. We know that the NFL is going to play in Brazil. It's going to be the Eagles and Packers. We know that they're going to play in London. Bears, Vikings, Jaguars, Panthers. We know there's a Christmas doubleheader that'll be in the middle of the week on Wednesday. So you'll start to get all these little things leak out. And then we'll get a bowl schedule because we'll know what stadium availability is.
Yeah.
Right?
Huge, man.
Yeah.
Then you can start really diving into NFL win totals for next season.
Yep. As you look through it, there's a
Your
Harbaugh
fantasy
Bowl.
rankings.
Ravens and Chargers are going to play. Falcons are going to play the Vikings, Kirk Cousins.
Who has the dome games at the end of the season. The Lions got such a beneficial schedule last year. What happens if they have to play outside late in the season this year?
Mm-hmm. Bears are going to play the Commanders. Caleb Williams versus Jaden Daniels. It's nice. Bills will play the Texans. Stephon Diggs will go back and play the Bills. Eagles will play at the Giants. Saquon Barkley is going to get to go back to New York. They'll play twice because they're in the same division. Russell Wilson's going to get to play, assuming he's the Steelers quarterback, against the Broncos. How much crap's going to be talked that way?
I think a little bit less.
All right, you got to almost...
From Sean Payton.
Yeah, this is where you almost have to divorce yourself because you're a fan of the Broncos. Who's more dislikable, Russ or Sean Payton?
Well, if you're a Broncos fan, it's Russell Wilson because of the contract, the poor performance. And Sean Payton is the one you can still believe in the hope that Sean Payton, for the first time ever, by the way, has a young quarterback to develop. He's a quarterback whisperer, offensive guru. Well, let's see it. Let's go. They gave up more for Sean Payton than they did Bo Nix. So show us something.
They gave up for more. Yeah, absolutely they did. Absolutely they did. All right, so that's what you got to know. Here's text line. Terry says, admit I was anti-live. Phil claimed it would make golf better, more money. Yes. Besides that, doesn't seem like the players think so. The split cost some ratings. 100%. Look, man, I don't even know when there's a live tournament. I don't. And I don't even know where to go. Is it CW? Is that where I'm supposed to go find it? I don't really look for the final round on Saturday. I always look for it on Sunday. This is how I'm trained to watch golf. And I know every Sunday I get a golf tournament, and usually it's intriguing. And for me, it's usually pretty good golf, and it's dudes who are battling down the wire. And I love watching guys make clutch shots in big moments or splash the ball in the water in big moments. Like I watch it for the sport. But yeah, it's hurt the ratings, man. Yes. Maurice, August 19th, 2020. Jeff, that was the day Danny was supposed to ride down the University Stadium ramp on a white horse, Rocky right by his side, and announced Lobo football was back before destroying Idaho State. The governor robbed him of that opportunity, and I don't think the program's ever recovered. By the time Lobo football returned from the Vegas bubble a year later, the hype was gone. When I read Bronco hasn't signed his contract, I'm concerned that can turn off some fans. I think you're right. I didn't know that Bronco hadn't signed his contract. I'd love to know why. Because, yeah, that means there's something that hasn't been settled, right? I mean, I got to believe he's getting paid. He signed a letter or
is that a Regents thing? Is that a university issue now?
But the fear is, like, I don't know. There's a lot of
that he's going to walk away next month?
Well, not next month, but I mean, couldn't he just leave whenever and
could do that anyway?
Yeah, but at least there'd be some
buyout involved.
There'd be a buyout. There'd be something coming back to the university. Yeah.
If there was something serious going on, would he be working? Honestly, like, would he be out there recruiting, spring practice, setting the fountain, like trying to do all those things?
I would assume not if there was something serious, but obviously there's something serious enough that he didn't sign the deal. Now, I don't know if it's something where, hey, you committed to me on a facility or on a project, and I'm not going to sign it until that happens. But I mean, I'm working, and you're paying me. I promise you, he's not working for free. So paychecks are coming every 2 weeks. But yeah, you read that, and it's like, why? Yeah, that's concerning. Remember Chris Beard when he was announced as head coach at basketball at UNLV, and they did an intro press conference, but they didn't sign the contract? Remember what happened?
Well, that was on the university.
It was on the university, but
the contract. Yeah. There's no squabbling going on here, so that's why
I would assume there's no squabbling. Then if there's no squabbling, then
what we know of,
right?
Not a lot of people looking at Lobo football right now.
Well, but maybe they will be. He says in there, Lobo football never recovered from COVID, and I hear you, and I hear both sides of this, because I think you're right. I think, and I said it at the time, man, you shut this thing down, and they damn near shut it down. You got to move out of state. You never recover. Well, the other side of it is you did shut down New Mexico State. Remember how bad that got? Remember they played those 2 spring games against FCS teams and got their doors blown off in one of them? They seem to have recovered pretty well.
Lobo football never had their honeymoon season where they could have had some nice revenue that was unexpected, that there was the hype. You know, hey, it's not about wins right now. We're here for Danny. Let's go get a couple good crowds. But there was plenty of time to turn around on the football field.
And I hear Lobo fans saying, yeah, it's easier to turn around in that league. Whatever. They were an independent, weren't they? They were an independent, and then their first year in the conference. So it was an independent. And I get it, man. They got a waiver. But Jerry Kill went in there and turned that thing around. They were more affected by the COVID. Oh, they were shut down, dude. They didn't go anywhere. They didn't play that season. New Mexico, is you're right. They were the only team that had to go out of state and do everything because New Mexico State shut down. So do I feel that the Lobos are still feeling the effects of the COVID year? And I do. But holy smokes. I mean, that can't be. Well, that's why when you say.
What effects do you think they're still feeling?
At this point now, it's started over. But, I mean, there was a year of lost weight training, a year of lost momentum. To your point, the year of the revenue of people getting on board. JJ, New Mexico State shut down completely.
Those dudes weren't lifting weights.
And you can tell me they played an easier schedule and they're in an easier league. I don't know, man. They beat you twice the last 2 years. They won 10 games this year. They won at Auburn. They've been to 2 bowl games. You can tell me how easy they've got it all you want. They beat you twice. That's head-to-head, so they've been better. I don't know. Did you win at Auburn?
No, what he said about the shine being off is the biggest thing. You never got to just enjoy the moment as a Lobo fan without the expectations. That makes sense, because year one,
yeah, you usually get that year.
You know, with Danny and the home games and Rocky coming back, at least the first couple of games, you've probably gotten decent attendance boosts, probably some of the bigger crowds of the season. Then you don't get that, and then you see the team lose games, and then you have the off season. And there's still the challenge in place, just from a fan's perspective. What was going into 2021, it loses all that buzz.
Yeah. All right, Daniel Thomas posted, he's a Lobo recruit. It says, let's work, and he showed himself in a Lobo uniform. It says committed. So Lobo's got a 6'8" big man. Pretty nice get, it seems like. All right, tomorrow, Bill Hancock, Executive Director, College Football Playoffs, going to be with us at 8 o'clock. Looking forward to that conversation. Jim Rome Show is next, and you get Isotopes Baseball. They play the Chihuahuas at 11 o'clock. 10:45 pregame show. Heard with Colin Coward after that. 2 Men On will be here at 4 o'clock. We're back with award-winning radio tomorrow morning, starting at 7 a.m. Adrian, great work on the TV side. Big day for you.
Huge day.
Enjoy it. You should sell it. $99 with you. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
Shot past the pitcher. Huge. Just like that, the Hawks go up by 1 run. Oh man, is that a shot or what? Oh, just like that. That'll bring in another run. As Sanchez Reynolds touches the plate. That one fires away. That one's flying high. Bye-bye. Seth Galfano goes right to center field, and he takes it over the fence.
That could be gone. Back goes. That's gone. Home run. Home run by Lily Montoya. 3-run shot. Lucero gets that to third base. Fires across the diamond. Safe. So Lucero's safe with the infield single.
Right field, that ball's dropping. Oh man, what a great catch.
Evans hits that hard, back goes Martinez. That could be gone, it is. Home run. Home run, and the Cueva on a solo home run by Sienna Pettis.
Nice shot to center. Oh, and that goes over. Man, oh man, and just like that, the Hawks with another home run. Nice shot to center. Oh, and he made the catch. Man, and just like that.
Pitch is driven. See you later. Home run. Second home run for Larrabee. A 3-run shot this time. And the Rams go ahead 13-10 with This all happening with 2 out. And Larrabee slams her second home run over the left center field wall. And uh-oh. Lifting. High, high, high. Goodbye.